Hey guys, it's time to beat flat major. Yep, you get it? You get it? Yeah, I have to beat flat major. Majorly flat, like that's crazy. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Or
Joe Rogan Podcast, check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Raul, Joe, very nice to meet you, brother.
It's so good to be here.
I have enjoyed your content tremendously online, and I really got into a video this morning that I was watching where you found this.
Yo, you were
Neolithic
watching?
site
I
that
thought
was
you-
undocumented in Peru. It's incredible that they still have
don't watch anymore.
these
Alright,
ancient sites that, for whatever reason, it seems like the money that they get gets stolen. Like the money that is supposed to be allocated towards documenting these things and registering these things, people just say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna pocket it," and
It happens a lot more than you think.
it's just
What-
hard to
wait,
believe.
how do you-
man.
what is
Some of the
that?
stuff
How
that
is
you
it
document is
designed?
very heartbreaking.
Can you
Like,
just, like,
one of them was when you flew a drone over
Oh, it
these
does look
ancient
okay.
ruins and you showed
It
the
always
amount
works.
of places that,
No, it doesn't.
and it's just all of it.
Like this.
It's just hot.
There's some situations where it can
holes.
also.
And when I first
Okay,
saw
my
that, I'm
mouse
like,
stopped
"What is
working."
he showing me?" And then
Like, it
you're
can
like,
also be like
"These
that,
are
so be
all
careful about
spots
that.
where
Yeah,
someone
it
has
has to be
dug
like that.
in
There
and
we go.
looted." And most of it has been done in this area of Peru over the last 20 years. So from 2006 to 2026, more.
I would have the biggest amount of looting happened. It's actually died down some, but the end of
mean,
the
this shit is
20
just
so 1980s
all carried
to
in.
2010.
That's what it really.
like when it really took off. And you can tell from the trash.
Wait. Okay.
Cigarettes that were only produced in the 80s,
Oh.
soda bottles that were only produced in the 90s.
How nice of them to steal the artifacts and the trash.
Dude, they've become
Let's try to make this
land
as.
of human remains. This place you're talking about is,
Nope.
I mean, it's
Like that.
8 kilometers of just, it looks like the moon.
Right.
Every single location has been looted. Like, I gotta go up there.
Come on, what the? Well, like.
Pull up to the mic. So, looting, what are they at that point in time? I mean, these are hundreds, thousands of years old, the sites. So, what did they find it?
Well, a lot of the mummies that I found mummies that have been torn apart literally, like the cotton that they're wrapped in, the textiles that they're wrapped in. I mean, it's just they've been scattered.
Are they looking for jewels?
Or for some sort of metal, like on the person themselves.
And
The
there we go.
unfortunate thing
This
is, I mean,
is
all you'll see
crazy
is
shit.
you'll just see these bones littered across the landscape with broken pieces of pottery and
That was
Let's
also
have a lot of fucking stuff. It always works. It
that-
always
one
works.
right there. These are all human
Let me-
bones that you just find scattered.
that's all cotton. And what we're about to see here is an actual mummy that's been
No,
torn apart.
no.
It's just so sad that there's no protection.
Wait, let me see. What?
Nobody's going out there. Nobody. Except for
How many?
But I know very little about Peru,
Yeah, please.
other than, obviously the Nazca lines, the mummies, all these different things, the mystery of the place. Can you show that, please? Oh, it's over. But
there's
It kind of is like.
there's a couple burial drone shots. You
it's just,
go to the top.
how big is Peru? I don't even know geographically how large it is.
I mean, Peru is huge. I mean, it takes up. This is a different looted site.
Shouldn't it be
So this is all of this is in the Caracas Nazca ecoregion.
And these skulls are just sitting there?
So the looters will oftentimes leave.
Wow.
I don't know, set them up in this
Wow.
fashion. There isn't a site I've gone to where I haven't seen something like set up like this.
Wow.
In the end. But so I'll pull out to show the scale of it. I mean, every little piece of white you see is some part of it.
Wow.
Come on. Stop
It's
doing
tragic.
that.
There's just so much history lost. And so, does this stuff wind up in private collections? Do museums ever get it? Like, what happens to that stuff?
I don't think museums get it at all. It's private buyers. I actually met the term is huaquero. It's a grave robber. I actually met one in Miraflores in Lima
Stop
proper,
being a
at
dumbass.
Artesanales, where they're selling, ancient goods. Well, some of them have real things.
Look at this.
They
Oh
go out
my
and-
goodness.
I mean,
Look at this.
this is one of the things I've been thinking about. Like,
Holy
for the
shit,
future,
this
like,
way.
what-
Let's go.
what
Wait.
can be done about this? Because the government, nobody from the government is going out.
And it's dark.
And so
Like,
these things end up in private collections, textiles, humans, pottery, things that you would see in museums. It's just nobody from that official administration is taking the trip to go out there and preserve these things.
It seems like just the ancient civilization of Peru is a massive mystery. It seems like there are a lot of uncovered stories in that area. And
Peru is a hot spot.
it doesn't seem like there's an incredible amount of research being done other than by independent people.
There's just so much in Peru. I mean, you throw a stone and you're finding out.
Look at that cat.
Yeah, I mean, whenever they do construction, they end up coming across structures or bones. I mean, this last expedition, I went all over the country, and there was no lack of archaeological sites. So the money the money it would take to fund research on all these places is just extreme. It's extreme. I think there's a lot of history that goes missed because of what's currently happening. But a lot of times, a lot of the research is focused on what's going to bring tourists.
Right. Like Machu Picchu, which is also insane.
Phenomenal.
Like, it's incredible. Like, that place is like, what? Why?
This
How?
fucking cat.
Why'd you build it up here? Fucking nuts. A good friend of mine just actually went. Just
Stop
recently
doing that. First of all, stop.
Machu Picchu. It's like, it doesn't even make sense.
Dude, Machu Picchu is what started. My family's from Peru, and so I would grow up going there. And I had this old, back when you were filming with cameras with like a videotape. There's footage of me finding seashells at Machu Picchu when I was like 10 years old. Back then, you could go wherever you wanted. You didn't have to stay on a path, and so.
And for people that don't know,
Really, nigga.
Machu Picchu's like, what, 12,000 feet above sea level?
Yeah. And so I'm a kid, and I mean, I still have the footage, the grainy footage, and I'm showing my dad on the camera. I'm like, Dad, look, I found seashells. I saw them inside of like glinting in the mud in the wall, and so I took them out. And that's what started this whole process for me. I was just like that. It blew my mind that there were seashells way up there. So I studied about Earth cataclysms and ancient history, and why sea levels were different, and that is the moment that started kind of this whole path for me.
How old were you at the time?
10 or 12.
Wow. How many times did you go?
Growing up, we used to go every year and a
You
half
stop
or so.
that. You stop that. That would
My
be
adulthood.
so
It's only
great.
recently, the past 2 years, that I've been doing what I've been doing, which is like hardcore solo expeditions.
And so, like, when you look at a site like Machu Picchu or any of these ancient sites, what is the timeline that conventional archaeologists attribute?
I mean, they attribute it to the income, which
Okay. Alright. I see.
late 1400s, early 1500s, like the Inca were conquered by the Spanish in 1530, I think. And so most of that megalithic architecture they attribute to the Inca. However, there's evidence that there's a site, Jamie, if you can pull up, it's called Vinyake. This place there's megalithic architecture with precision that goes down 50 feet under this mountain. Check this out.
Wow.
Maybe.
This is crazy.
So I believe they filled in the top to in modern times, but and very soon there's going to be a guy who shows us a map.
you see very different construction.
Very different
styles
construction.
from the bottom to the top. But that's how it always is, right? The most complex stuff.
So that's showing that this architecture here, it goes down 50 feet into this mountain.
And what do they think this was?
So this complex is all attributed to the Wari. It's attributed to the culture that came right before the Inca, which doesn't make much sense to me because what you see on the surface, that's Wari construction.
Which is small stones.
Wait, it doesn't.
Right.
And
What are they held together with?
mud mortar, mud as mortar, and but then so
Funky.
this site has only been 4% excavated. 4%.
is it? Wait, how do you
Underneath
fucking do
all
that?
of it is that type of
It's buck.
architecture.
Wait, no.
Crazy.
So you have mud and mortar with very small stones, and then underneath it you have precision cut megalithic stones. And how big are these stones, and where are they supposedly coming from?
It's still like that though.
That so
Fuck is
here's a
this?
fun story.
That's not
place-
fun. That's not fun to play again.
You can find it on Google Maps. It's, they call it El Complejo del Wari, so the Wari complex.
Bro, no.
But if you go back to the Spanish Chronicles, Pedro Sierra de Leon, when he was in Tiwanaku, so Tiwanaku, where Pumapunku is in Bolivia, when they asked the natives, who built this, they said, we don't know, it was built before us, from the people from the
okay, okay.
the same people who
What is
built Viñaque, as the natives said. That place, Viñaque, is 800, 1,000 kilometers from Tiwanaku. So, and it's the same construction. So it makes sense kind of what they're saying. The people who built Tiwanaku also built this place.
Excuse me? Wait, no.
But
I have to
before they
touch.
knew- Before they knew that.
Sorry, my bad.
They didn't
There.
witness it. It was just there when they got there. Is what the
Right.
locals said.
That's a lot of stuff, right? That's part of the weirdness
Oh my.
of
Are you kidding
South
me though?
America.
Why is it? Like,
And,
why is it so
even
hard?
Mexico, right?
Yeah.
That's the weirdness of the Aztec structures. I didn't know that until pretty recently. That the Aztecs labeled
my,
like
that's hard.
Tenochtitlan, the place where the gods were born.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like they don't attribute that to themselves.
And that's not-
They
wait, no, it's
found
just-
it when they cleared the area.
When you think about it, I still to this day, I was up in Lake Titicaca, and I mean, there's structures all over the place, but where were these people living? And because there's no remnants of cities or towns, and the reason is because in modern times people have
course, right.
recommissioned
Usually
the
it's like
blocks
that.
and started to use them for their farms and their homes and things like that. You have a good location, a place of reverence.
There's a helper
You're
here.
going to build the next culture is going to build on it, and I think that's happened a lot in a lot of places.
Yeah. Well, everywhere, right? I mean, that's Lebanon too. That's Baalbek. It seems to be the case that those immense stones where the Romans built on top of them.
Oh, yeah.
The Roman documentation is pretty precise. They documented everything. They never talked about these enormous
doesn't have the
1,000-ton
helper up
stones.
as
that
well.
are
Is that even
70
helper or
meters
just
up in
is-
the air?
They're
Yeah,
just
it's
going to put them in
random
the base of our structure.
Yeah,
I think it's actually a random.
They didn't even talk about them. They talked about these beautiful structures that are on top of that are clearly Roman, but the stuff underneath it just defies logic. And some of the stones that were never moved and put into place, that were cut and quarried, but just never moved. 1,600 tons? Like, how?
And things you can't replicate, nowadays. It's
That's what's crazy.
Minus
Like with
9.
modern machinery, we can't do it.
I mean, I've always, when I started this path, I was, Fingerprints of the Gods was one of the first books I picked
Me
up
too.
as a kid. My dad
Yeah,
had it in
me
his
too.
library, and
It's bonkers.
and that set me off on a course. And, the inability to be able to I don't know. I don't buy the mainstream. It feels a little bit lazy. The responses that the mainstream kind of gives to some of this stuff.
It's purposely. It's more than lazy. Because if it was just lazy, they've been confronted by all this
With
other alternative always the conventional wisdom that there was no society back then that was capable of doing this, so they had to attribute it to more recent societies. So
I feel like that.
yeah. And then you're like, okay, you guys need to shut the fuck up.
I mean, there's a power in admitting, like, if we're looking for the truth here, then it's like, okay, we got this evidence that disrupts this that we thought before. All right, just say that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They
Like, just say it.
It's fascinating that they can't, you know,
It's-
because they are like every other form of academia. They are just like, I mean, you might as well be talking to a gender studies teacher. Just like they don't want to look at reality. They just want their narrative, and they want to be the gatekeepers of information, and then they just want to push that narrative forward. And they're so mean.
Dude, I only started recently being on X within the past year. And it's like the cattiness of it all,
I
man.
remember he
Well, it just
Back and
exposes them. It exposes their personality.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night. All day.
Hey, does the red light there really help your fucking eyes?
100%.
I'm doing it.
Are we rolling?
Yeah, my eyes are so fucked.
Yeah.
I can't see Joe.
Get one of the Gary Brecka beds for your house. There's a bunch of companies that sell them. There's one like a really powerful red light bed. I did it this morning. Dude, it changed my vision.
I can't, when I'm in the shower, I can't read shampoo, bath gel. Like, I'm like, dude, why do they need to be small? Can't you just make it big as fuck so everyone can see it? They're not that small. I can't see it. And then I'm getting out naked, putting on readers to see what I'm fucking. Wash my hair with conditioner so many times.
Yeah, mine was getting bad. Mine was getting where I needed these fucking things.
I heard you say that. I was like,
Yeah, it
I
changed
was,
my life.
I did went to Ways 12 the other day, and I did the red light bed every day. It's like, Google how much it costs. It's fucking expensive.
It's expensive.
It's so
Yeah,
hard to
but
see.
Whitney got one that's not that expensive. It's fixed her eyes. She got one that she sits in front of every day for 20 minutes or something like that. Yeah.
Love that.
Oh, dude, it's amazing. But the big ones, the beds, they help your whole body recover. Let's put that into perplexity. Say, what is the benefits of powerful red light therapy? I'm using the eye so much now. I was in the beginning, I was resisting it so much that now, instead of searching things online, I just ask the phone. I just pull up the app and ask it a question. I don't have to type anything, and then it gives me an answer. And then I can say, well, what's the benefits of it? And then it'll list out the benefits. And I'll say, what are the cons? And it'll list out the cons. Like, is there, you know, are there any people that disagree with this?
Complexity.
Yeah.
So I got one. My questions are always like, they're always more like about me. So I like, they're
Why do you look yourself up?
No,
It's
not about
bad
them,
for
but
your
no,
mental health.
I don't look myself up. It's about like
Your health?
No, my health or my
Oh.
experience in life.
Oh,
so
okay.
like I was the other day I was in bed. I was like, all right, I think my generation had the greatest run. Like out of all generations around, my generation, Gen X, had the greatest run. We got great childhoods, right?
Right.
We got to experience cell phones. We got to be impressed by the cell phone.
Right.
We had 9/11, which wasn't great, but it was the time when the country healed, right? Everyone wants
For a
a big
couple
tragedy like the JFK shooting. You want that moment where you walk by a bar and they're like, what are you doing? Like, you haven't heard? We got one of those.
Right.
We had the pandemic, which is insane.
Right.
We had our music play better. We had rock. We had, I mean, just all the internet took off, so we got to experience that. I think my generation, Gen X, is yours
that?
too, right?
Right. Yeah.
I go, so I asked that to ChatGPT and I was wrong.
Did I double?
What do you mean?
The greatest generation is actually labeled the greatest generation. It's my grandmother, your grandmother. They experienced horse and buggy.
That is wow.
They then went, they saw cars. They saw television. All within the time they had horse and buggy, they saw people land on the moon. I mean, all that shit. Telephones. Who got fucked with the baby boomers? They were just old enough to not understand cell phones. Like, they got fucked. Millennials got fucked. Millennials got real fucked.
Yeah, I don't know about the greatest generation. I think you're correct. I think the passage of the internet, like the internet going through our lives and cell phones. Like I experienced VHS tapes first. Yeah. Then I experienced answering machines. That was a big one. Caller ID. You know who's calling you. You just duck people. That was crazy.
I remember when caller ID showed up. Then I remember when Star 69 showed up.
Oh,
where you can block your caller ID.
Star 69 was good.
Can't even
because you
see
could call
anything.
people
Why is
back that were
everything so
pranking
funny?
you?
Yeah.
Like, hey, motherfucker. Like, what? What's going on?
Dude, we got prank calls. My
Yeah.
kids didn't never got prank calls. Like they never understood what a prank call was.
The Jerky Boys. Jerky Boys were fucking amazing.
Dude.
Those guys were so funny. So those recordings were so funny. You know who did a great fucking prank call recording? Greg Fitzsimmons.
Really?
Oh my god, it's hilarious. He did this one we called a rental car place, and he said that the car was on fire because they went to the gas station and they filled up pots and pans with gas and they put it in the back seat, and fucking Bobby's smoking and now the car's on fire. Like, you gotta hear this guy freaking out. What do you mean the car's on fire? You can't do that anymore.
Dude, Greg, you know when people go like, what kind of music do you listen to? And you talk to a real musician, like you talk to the Black Keys, right?
Right.
And then you go like, what do you guys listen to? They're like, have you heard of the Velvet Thud or something?
Right. They've got some obscure
And you're like,
rap.
no, and they're like, that's what you need to listen to. When
Yeah.
people say, I listen to Sunday Papers, that's Fitzsimmons and Gibbons
Why does it
podcast,
sound like
I go
John
to the real
Cena?
comedy fans. Those are the two funniest human beings alive. Greg Fitzsimmons, when I got ready for Lucky, I brought him on the road with me. I was like, dude, I trust you. Just tell me where I'm sloppy, tell me where I'm lazy, tell me where I'm leaving jokes. And that first night, he was like, you got a minute? And he went through my whole hour. He's like, I think you're leaving this on the table. Dude, those motherfuckers are the funniest dudes alive.
Yeah, Greg's awesome. We started out together. We started like 1 week apart from each other.
For real?
Yeah, literally. We went on the road. God, in the early days, Greg and I traveled everywhere. We did open mic. We would drive to Rhode Island, do open mics together.
Alright, I think
He was a
I'm going
great
out.
example of
Wow, nice first